morning. Hello, hello. Fanny Bryce and I are here. Say hi, Fanny. Fanny Bryce and I are here in the craft room. She was absolutely picking other spaces to hang out in for a while there, and I got kind of spoiled is the wrong word because I love having her here, but complacent. Hey, let's be nice. Hey, be nice. So, back at it. I know I have not been in here in about a week. It's been a little bit, stuff has been going on. Everybody is, I'm sure, I've been doing kind of, I've been making a lot of minis because that is very soothing to me. And I will give you guys a tour of my minis soon because I'm putting together my cocktail party tables. Been working on that, but I want to keep on going on the shoe marathon because August is nearly done. And I feel like when August turns into September and like summer becomes fall, then for me, I know I've talked about this before, then for me, that kind of gets to be like, oh, real now. Now it's really coming. Now we're in it. So let's keep rolling. Today I am going to work on the bead tree shoes. I have finished the bead fences except for their transfers, and I got the font that I wanted all like figured out, so I'm good there. I have my fake frosting to do the piping on top of my cakes. I need to glue the do I have white glue sticks? I do have white glue sticks. I need to glue the candles in. Wouldn't it be great to be as relaxed as your cat is? Oh my God. I just want a vacation where I'm just in Fanny's life for like a week. Hey, sweetie. Oh, thank you for the kisses. Okay, all right. So yeah, we're gonna work on our bead trees. Those need some more glitter on them. Oh, and what I'm going to do, we're going to work on baskets. We're going to actually, I know I'm the boy who cried wolf. I know I've been saying we're going to do baskets for so long, but I do have my frosting. I have a couple of colors here. I've got the white fake frosting. I've got the light pink. I've got the medium pink. I've got the bright pink, but I think that's too bright. I think what we're going to do, and I wanted to give you guys, I have finished the Snowball shoes, and I'm ready to actually bag those, so I wanted to give you guys a little bagging tour. But I think the first thing we're going to do, we're going to start off with something that's just pure fun, pure pleasure. I am going to glitter my Easter eggs. And, I know that it's not really the season for that, but I want to do something fun because it's been a week. So I've got these long bamboo skewers. And I've got, let me fish them all out. I've got these Easter eggs, little foam Easter eggs. Let me get them all out of here. This is all the stuff that's going to go in my baskets. I put it all in one big box. My berries, my mushrooms, just anything that I think I might want to put into a basket, I have put into this box, and all my ribbon and stuff. It's a very big mess. The red foam balls become my blueberries because the foam balls come pre-glittered white, silver, gold, green, or red. They do not come blueberry colored already, so I have to make my blueberries. They're like this in the bag, and then I turn them into this. And I've got, every time I find a strawberry in my glitter room, I throw it in here. I was thinking about doing one with farmer's market veggies, and I was going to turn these into mini heads of lettuce. I've got some little carrots. I've got a lot of options here. I've got, one might say, an overwhelming amount of options. If one was being honest, if perhaps a little bit, a little bit mean. All right, let me get all the Easter eggs out of here. Probably could have done this before we went live, but all right, I have checked this box pretty thoroughly. Oh, I've got the little bitty oranges. I've got one, you can see my baskets on the top shelf there. I've got one basket that already has orange satin on it. She's going to be a little basket of some not Ponchatoula. Oh, is it Ponchatoula? I'm blanking now. My dad used to go visit my stepdad used to go visit his buddy, Plaquemines. He used to go to Plaquemine to visit his buddy, and he'd bring us back a big old thing of Plaquemine citrus and Plaquemine honey, and sometimes he would bring back oysters. So I have very positive associations with those. Basket is the wrong word. It was like a fancy cardboard box, but so I am skewering my little Easter eggs. I'm putting them on their little supports. This is a variety of colors. I've got some like seafoam green ones. They are sort of speckled, and I'm debating what to do about the speckles. I'm going to play with that. I could put some confetti in, but I don't think it'll create the right effect. So I think what I'm going to do is drop some things. I think what I'm going to do is glitter them in their pastels. And I'm going to talk about what we're doing for pastels because it's exciting. I'm excited. I'm going to do the pastels, and then I think I'm going to flick. If you've ever seen somebody do this, you like dip the brush in the paint and you like do this to make the flecks. So I think I'm going to do that with brown paint and brown glitter, and I'm going to do like one and see how I feel about it. And then I'm not going to do them all. I'm going to be a little bit of a chicken about that. No pun intended, because we're talking about eggs. Though we're talking about Easter eggs. I guess Easter eggs are also laid by chickens. The bunny doesn't lay them. We're a little all over the place, y'all, and that's just how we're going to be. Okay, so Easter eggs, ready to go. Where is my vase is currently full of strawberries, so I should put those somewhere safe for now. Let me use, all right. Ugh. Those all have one coat of red. Maybe today's the day. Yes, today's the day. I believe in myself. Okay. So that's going to be my vase. So I'm going to be doing, I want to put a little weight at the bottom of that. Perfect. Okay. I am going to start glittering these. We are going to use pastel glitter on these, and I do need to grab my white. I'm going to grab my white. I wanted to get these started, but I'm not in any particular hurry to get them done. So let me let me do a little quick tour of my finished snowballs, and we'll put them in bags. That's a good feeling. All right, so first one up, this is the grape snowball. She is all glittered up. She's got the kind of the pouring, the suspension. I kind of played around with different ways of making the labels on the syrup, and I wasn't really wild about any of them, so artistic interpretation. She's got the jazz squiggles on her cup and on her platform, which I love. She's got the little summertime friendship bracelet lettering on her. She is all done. And I let my kids each pick out the flavor of snowball they wanted to see me do. And I was like, Tommy picked out grape, my eldest picked out grape. And I was like, do you want that shoe? And he's like, no, I think it would bring someone else more joy. And so we're going to bag her up. Let me grab. So she is probably going in the girls' trip sell pile. Okay. All right. While I'm up, I need my piping tips. Let me get a big piping tip. Let me get my white glitter. I only need a little bit. And there's my white glitter. There's my piping tips. And I wanted to knock some things over. I'm not bugging you. Alrighty. There we go. So, I forgot to say, the thing I got up to get was my ribbon. And I forgot. Okay. All right, so she's all set. Looking good. I'm going to use teal ribbon on her because, the teal. I think it'll pull out the teal of the squiggle, technical term. Alrighty. Do. My pretty girl. Curl the curling ribbon. And I can go put her in that. I've got a good sized pile of shoes at the glitter store at Craft Culture that are for sale. As a reminder, for sale to Muses. I am so sorry, but the crew regulations are that I cannot sell shoes to anyone other than a Muse as her throws. And that I am sympathetic, but I also totally, when I say I'm sorry, I don't mean I disagree with that. I don't disagree with that. I think it keeps it special. I think the only way to get a shoe is from a Muse. Either as a present, when you have something special going on in your life, or like we gift them to businesses and stuff, or of course, off the float. Ah! Look at that pretty, pretty girl. So she is headed to Craft Culture. She's going to be in the sell pile. Okay, and then I've got this one. She is a clear snowball with some rainbow trim, and she's getting that clear syrup. Now that I'm looking at her, I want to touch up her bottle. So we aren't going to bag her today. That's okay. But yeah, this one is my, for all the New Orleans parents, when you go to the stand and your mom or dad says you can get any flavor you want as long as it's clear, because they don't want to deal with the whole situation that will occur if you get cherry snowball all over you or whatever color you get. So that's my clear snowball, and it's got the clear snowball on the heel. She is also headed to the sell pile, but I want to touch up her. There's a few little spots where I was probably holding her a little too tight when I put her together, but my clear snowball, I really do love her. And you can see I did the rainbow ombre and the rainbow ombre to match the trim. Love that trim so much. Okie doke, so she's not actually quite ready. All right, this is my rainbow snowball. And I was going to write Muses on the cup, but I kind of felt like it was getting to be, I'm going to say too busy, like it's not an absolute just, she was getting to be a little bit too busy, so I'm leaving her like this. She's got the rainbow snowball, pretty blue and gold and rainbow cup, purple shoe. The platform is the rainbow snowball texture and color, and then she's got her blue bubble gum, her pink, and her yellow ice cream, making the pretty rainbow snowball. And of course, she's got a straw and a spoon in her. So she is ready. All right, into the bag she goes. Oh, she might need a boot bag. Yeah, she's gonna need a boot bag because she's a little tall, and if I try to gather her, it won't work, but that's okay. I have boot bags. I don't have any handy, but she can hang out until I have a boot bag. All right, and then I've got my nectar snowball with bees for my Matthew, because it's got the nectar flavor and the honey. You can't see the honey ice cream because it's a stuffed snowball, but that's what my Maddie likes. Nectar cream snowball stuffed with honey ice cream. And she is so pretty. I love the little bees. And as I said before when I was working on her, you probably would not want to share your snowball with bees. I would not blame you. But I think it's a cute little nod to the fact that it's nectar. Because one of my favorite memories is walking to the snowball stand with Matthew, and he said, "What flavor is it I like? Is it nectar or is it pollen?" He remembered that it was butterfly adjacent or pollinator adjacent, but not exactly what the nomenclature was, which I think is very cute. And it remains one of his favorite flavors to this day. Every now and then he'll be feeling a rainbow snowball, because don't we all occasionally feel like a rainbow snowball? All right. Okay. I used some iridescent pink ribbon on this one. And I might just leave it kind of wavy rather than curly. No, I'll curl it. Sometimes I feel different moods for different snowballs, or different shoes, different snowballs. My goodness, y'all. All right. Just a little light curling of the curling ribbon. All right, she's looking cute. But yeah, if I can get these done, I can move them, and then I can maneuver a little more in my craft room. Pretty girl. All right, I've got my dreamsicle. And this one, I was joking at my snowball class. I was like, this snowball stand, they don't even have the funnels on that. They're just like pouring it. They're just, but you know, we're all doing our best. So who am I to judge? She might also need a boot bag. We're going to find out. It is not uncommon for a tall suspension to need a boot bag because the silhouette is just a little higher. Let's see. Yep. See, if I don't have enough room to gather it, I don't want to be bumping. So she's going to go into a boot bag as well. All right, and the last one, I was like, we're going to do a show and tell, and I'm going to bag them all. And I have 6 here, and I've only bagged 2, but I'm about to bag the 3rd, so, you know. My funfetti cake with the little frosting letters. I love, this is the first one I did the new candles on. She's got a bright blue, lots of candy, all the sprinkles, gummy bears, M&Ms, cherry on top. She's so cute. I will probably not put her in the sell pile because I love to throw a birthday shoe from the float. That's my treat for myself. She's a heavy girl. She's got some weight to her. And maybe closer to the time, I'll talk a little bit about my strategy for packing up the shoes to go on the float. All right. 1 second. This is why I usually put the girls in their temp bags, because I don't like any schmutz on them. All right, perfect. She's cute. She's ready. She's also going to get a pink ribbon to match her pink frosting. Lots of pink ribbon. And I will show you what I do with a slightly more delicate shoe. Might as well chat about that. All right. Because I don't want her to get, you know, I need her to survive the ride. I want her to go home. If she comes with me on the float, I need her to go home just as pretty as she got onto the float. Not a standard I hold myself to, thank God. I do not need to get off the float as pretty as I got on the float. It is a long ride. It is a honor and a privilege and a delight, and I live for my ride, but it's intense. It's a long night. Whew. It's a long day, a long night, and a whole lot. So when I get off that float, I am a zombie. All right, so she's all bowed up and beautiful. And so what I'm going to do for a slightly more delicate shoe like this, I feel like I'm taking too much of this live bagging, so we'll talk about logistics of loading another time. But what I'm going to do is put her into a, a bubble wrap envelope that's the same shape as this bag, but a little bit bigger. I put her in the bubble wrap, and then I put her in an even bigger bag, and I bag that whole thing up. That way you still catch a pretty bagged shoe. All right, I'm just going to do it. Hang on. Y'all bear with me, please. And I'll get my boot bags out. Okay. Okay. So. Except I see this one thing that is making me crazy, and I gotta fix it. Typically, I do the sunshine test. That's my last check of whether a shoe is actually ready to go out into the world. And I did the sunshine test on these. She just had a little bit of white a little thread of white hot glue on her that was bugging me. I just didn't like it, so, you know. The top of this cake is so, like, white that I really don't want anything sitting on there that interrupts. That's better. I definitely gave her a once over with the heat gun because I'm not seeing that kind of stuff. Okay. No harm in, you know, it's a lot of work to make them. A little bit of perfectionism is understandable. They're emotional. Okay. Plenty of pink ribbon. My fun 1990s curling ribbon. All right. Take two. Whew. It does go to show, though, I'm like, it's not done until it's in the bag. It does take time to get them, like, cleaned up and bagged. All right, let me curl my curling ribbon real quick, and then I'll show y'all what it looks like. Whew. I closed the door to my craft room so that Fanny wouldn't come get all up in my business. Even though I love hanging out with Fanny, but she does get all up in my business. Y'all know. She gets all up in my business. But now the air condition isn't circulating, and I don't like that. I like my AC. Okay. There she is. Gorgeous. Okay. So I have got these bubble wrap envelopes. So that gives her a little extra protection. And then, and I know this is going to seem like overkill, but think how much work these are. We've got these bags at the shop that are slightly bigger. So that's not as pretty as if I threw her just in the bag. Like, that's not as pretty as that is, obviously, but it's going to keep her safe. So when it's a little bit more delicate, and she's just a little bit more delicate with her cherry and her candles, I just don't want her. Breakage happens. Things break on the float. There's no shame in that, but I want to do everything I can to keep her strong and protected. All right, so I just put one, and that way I can still hand her out like a shoe, boom, boom, but that way she's a little bit safer. And if you don't want to go all the way to this, even double bagging in your shoe bags gives a lot of integrity. Okay, she's all set. She's gonna go in my pile. I've got the two suspensions that need to go into boot bags. And then I just want to touch up her little red tip, so I'm going to keep her handy. Okay, let me move these out of the way. Make myself a little maneuvering room, and then we are going to glitter some Easter eggs. So what's exciting for me about the Easter eggs is I'm going to be using it's a new set, but it's also sort of a, you know how they say like new and improved? It can't be both. If it's new, it's not improved. And if you're improving something, it's not new. But this is actually new and improved. So we had a while back a set we called the Pastel Fantasy Dreams set. And it was 6 colors, and they were all like these pretty pastels. And I was like, some people really loved them. They had a little bit of like, you know, a cult following, like all things that are limited edition do. And I was like, I feel like every color in the Pastel Fantasy Dreams set now has a prettier, you know, like the yellow in the set is Country Roads is just as pretty. It's not really adding anything. But we are doing the Lore and Legends as our current, like our series, our theme this year is Lore and Legends. And so I was like, I think it would be fun to bring back the Pastel Fantasy Dreams set, but like better. Like, I'm gonna like crank them up a little bit. So it is a set of pastels. Look how pretty she is. But they're formulated to be like a little bit more, they are pastel, they are dreamy, but we're going for that childhood, like both pastel, but soft colors, childlike colors, very dreamy, but still very intense, very like vivid. So the Pastel Fantasy Dreams set is Unicorn Dreams, is the pastel pink, and it's a very like classic, like candy childhood pink, but it's got a lot of nice kind of shimmer and vividness. So I'm gonna do that one is in the set. I think I'm gonna use Country Road. What am I gonna do on my yellow one? I need to decide. All right, I know I'm gonna do pink on the pink ones. Pink and pink, good. The orange is Pegasus Dreams. It's a really beautiful like tangerine color. Oh, very pretty. It's peachy, but not like Peachy Keen. Peachy Keen is a very naturalistic peach. Like you can use it for skin tone. You cannot use that for skin tone, but it is very pretty peachy. Very, very fun and citrusy. We've got this color in there that's like not really yellow, not really orange, called Sphinx Dreams, because I think each one of them is obviously named after a different mythical creature. Nymph Dream, Unicorn Dreams, Pegasus Dreams. This is Nymph Dreams is the yellow, and it's a really like, again, they're very pastel. They're very like, there's a very like, I keep saying childlike, but that's like the vividness of your imagination. So they've got that kind of softness, but also, they're soft, but also intense. Maybe I'm not explaining very well. They're also, like all glitter, much better in person, but I'm trying to give you all the sense of it without necessarily going insane. All right, so Sphinx Dream is, it's just a kind of enchanted sandy color. And then Mermaid Dreams is, of course, the blue. It's a really beautiful, really dreamy pastel blue. Pixie Dreams is the green. It's beautiful because it's so vivid, but still very soft. So Pixie Dreams versus like, that's Green Thumb. Pixie Dreams has that vividness, the really like intensity of the shimmer. It's got like a lot of gold or iridescent shimmer in the finish that makes it really intense, really pop. And then the last two are Chimera Dreams is this really pretty vivid violet. And then Fairy Dreams is like this rich indigo. So I'm gonna use these. I am gonna use, let me figure it out. The yellow is a little neon for what I'm doing here. So I'll probably do Country Roads for that, but I'm going to do, yeah, Pixie and Nymph are very beautiful, but have a decent amount of like neon to them. So I'm going to use Green Thumb. Oh, you know what else would be pretty? If I had it around, I could do the Tiffany blue, the breakfast at, that's all right. We're just gonna do them Seafoam Green. It's funny because they're robin's eggs and the only color I'm not using is the robin's egg blue. That's fine. All right, so pink for the pink, Green Thumb for the Seafoam Green. I do have one big blue egg. I wonder why I don't have another one. I probably do that I probably lost. That's okay, these things happen. It sort of looks like, oh, maybe not. It sort of looks like I have in each color a large egg and a smaller egg. All right, that one's gonna be Pegasus. And then I've got a white egg that I'm gonna do. The white, I've got some crystal white that I'm gonna do on the white egg. The purple, I wanna do this indigo color on those. Ooh, it's looking very Eastery. I might lighten up Fairy Dreams a smidge. I'm gonna cross that, I'm gonna burn that bridge when I come to it, as my late mother used to say. But then I want Country Roads for these girls. I do want Country Roads for these yellow girls. So we'll postpone those for now and get started on these. This is gonna be fun and I am looking forward to it. Okie dokie. Here we go. Clean brush, clean Mod Podge, because when you're using pastels that have any semi-sheerness to them, you want to stick to clean stuff, because if I had like a bunch of red glitter or black glitter in this glue already, it would show up when my semi-sheer dried. So I've got it nice and secure on this little bamboo skewer. And then I'm gonna, she's getting the mermaid, the unicorn dreams. Oh man, they really are pretty. They really are beautiful. It's what we were going for, you know. I hope y'all can see. The light isn't terrific, but all right, setting her aside. And every glitter in the Pastel Fantasy Dream set, there are 8 1-ounce glitters in there. Every single one of them is different from anything else that we offer. So you're not gonna like get any duplicates of something that's already in your stash. Like maybe some of them are like second cousins, but no siblings, I would say. And certainly no twins. I hope that makes sense. I love it. It's pastel and dreamy, and I'm into it. Okay, perfect. I'll take these out in the sun when they dry, and y'all can, I hope, appreciate how delightful they are. And we don't currently offer anything in the set in a Papa Bear or a bag. We don't currently have the 2-ounce, or currently we only have the set, but like give us some time, we'll get there. We'll get there in a little while. This one is going to be a white egg. And I do think I'm going to need to do the speckles because I think they are going to look speckled. But we'll play with that. I love the idea of like an Easter egg being speckled because like, I guess you would get a speckled egg and then dye it. And that would make a speckled Easter egg. White glitter. All right, all right. Do I want to use... I'm trying to decide what I want to do about these yellow ones. If I want to do Country Road or I want to do one of the more vivid, one of the colors that has that vividness. We'll see. But yeah, Green Thumb is a little bit more of a seafoam and doesn't have quite as much of a high intensity shimmer in the finish as the Fantasy Dreams formulations. But if you want a more seafoam green, that's what I would use. But I didn't want to put, like I said, I didn't want to put anything in the set that you might already have a duplicate of. And so I didn't put Green Thumb. And Green Thumb was already such a pretty seafoam formulation. Oh, it makes me happy. Whew. I keep doing this thing where like my week is stressful and I'm like, oh, I don't have time to go glitter. And then as soon as I do, it's so relaxing. When will I learn? All the years I've been doing this. Mm-hmm. They're looking cute. I love them. Okay, that's my white one and my Green Thumb and my pink one. I've got one blue one. I feel like I am missing a blue egg, but you know, that's fine. So yeah, I know it's hard to see me putting the thin coat of glue on these, but I'm just painting a thin coat of just Mod Podge on these. I don't have any Aleenes in this Mod Podge. In general, I do like Aleenes, but today I'm just using straight Mod Podge for these. Glowing mermaid egg. I'm gonna move the yellows. Oh, my Easter eggs are pretty. It's the simple things. Whew. Okay. I opened the door back up. That feels better. Not that anyone was worried, but I'm feeling better. I am someone who would rather be too hot than too cold, but I would love to be neither. And plus, if I'm comfy in my craft room, then I feel like I can sit in here for a while. Ooh, Pegasus Dreams. Oh, the peach nectar of your dreams. I know I keep saying dreams a lot, but we were definitely going for like a sort of otherworldly, you know, when you're a little girl and imagining fairy tale things and you picture them not larger than life exactly, but more beautiful, more heightened. That's what I really wanted the new formulation to be. So they check some pastel boxes, and like other pastels, you will probably need to prime. In this case, I'm layering the same color over the same color, so I didn't prime. All right, okay. And then I do want to lighten up the purple a little bit. And do I want to... I'm trying to decide the overall color scheme. I could use... How do I feel about Sphinx Dreams? I'm kind of worried if I use Country Roads, it'll be a little too boring with all the others. Not that... Country Roads is very beautiful. It'll probably be fine. It'll probably be fine. And it's more of a, like, light yellow than either of the yellows in the set. All right, I'm going to do a little bit of Fairy Dreams and a little bit of Chimera Dreams. Fun. And then I'm going to lighten it up some. So this is not my preferred lightener. So y'all give me one sec. I want to get my preferred blender. It's worth doing. We're going to do it right. Oh my God. How is it possible that I don't have any Miss Mays in here? Ugh. That's very aggravating. I don't have any Miss Mays, which is my preferred blender, but I'm going to use a little bit of Magic White, and it'll be a little bit more... Some of the flakes in there will be a little bigger than I would ideally like, but, you know, sometimes we make it work with what we got on hand. That's very pretty. It's a little bit more textured than I would ideally like, but that's my own fault for not keeping up with my own inventory. That's very easy to do. There are colors where you're like, I've got buckets of that, but then when the time comes to actually find them, you're like, oh, nope, I misjudged my stash. It happens to me too, if that makes you feel any better. I'll be like, oh, I definitely have this color. Let me go grab it. And then it's like, oh, nope, I must have used it all up, or more likely stuck it someplace and didn't put it back where it went. That's a very pretty purple. It is, as I said, slightly more textured, but we're not going to let the perfect be the enemy of the done. Not today. The Pastel Fantasies are so smooth. They have like a creaminess to them, not necessarily in terms of tint. Like they don't have like that whiteness to them, that opacity. They aren't milky, but they are like smooth. They have that smoothness in their texture, that kind of creaminess, where they just are really like that smooth, powdery kind of quality. I don't know if that makes sense. Y'all are probably also glitter aficionados, so you probably know what I'm talking about when I say it's kind of got that creaminess, but not milkiness, all right? I don't know. And that's my purple egg done. So that's my Easter eggs so far. I'm really at a loss for whether or not to use Sphinx Dreams That's very, I'm struggling with the choice there to use that or country roads. Let me see if I have country roads. I know I'm popping up and down a lot this video, but you know, I'm disorganized sometimes. And by sometimes, I mean all the time. All right, I've got a little bit of country roads. Yeah, I think that's gonna work. I think a little bit of country roads is gonna be exactly just what the doctor ordered. And then I'll have all my little eggs done. I might do a second coat, but I might not. I'm gonna see how they feel when they're dry and brushed. And then we're gonna play with speckling them. Yeah, country roads. Oh, let me stay spot. Why you got chunks in you? What happened to you? You got a little bit of glue in you? You got a little bit of, someone clumsy dropped you on the floor? She's got a couple little chunks in her. I think I must have gotten some glue in there. Take all those little glue chunks and throw them away. It's very satisfying to filter your glitter. We have the little filters that are the perfect size to sit in the jar, and we've got some on handles. It's like reverse pickup sticks, finding a spot to stick the, all right, let me filter you. Finding a spot to stick my skewers. But yeah, sometimes you'll get you'll accidentally cross-contaminate your glitter. You'll get a whole bunch of confetti in there. It happens. You cannot separate contaminants of the same size. So if you if you get some ultra-fine black in your ultra-fine white, you've now got salt and pepper. That's just what you got. But you can take the big lumps out. I must have gotten some glue in there because I wasn't careful. And not careful, moi. Okay. But you can filter out the bigger stuff. And that's very satisfying. It kind of cleans your glitter up. A few little lumps and bumps aren't going to hurt anyone, but nice, smooth, clean, filtered glitter. Just sometimes handles a little better. That's night and day. Who came in here and splashed a bunch of glue in my glitter? Who would do such a thing? Sometimes what happens if I have it open and I kind of am like doing too much movement of my wet glue brush over an open thing of glitter, which is why I should close the glitter, you know, like I didn't do on this one. I reap what I sow. But I'm also perfectly contented to do the work to repair it. So that's kind of, you know, I'm not bothering anyone but myself with that. I'm enjoying my little bouquet of eggs. Oh, so pretty, so pastel, so dreamy. This one's gonna be a really cute basket with all the Easter eggs in it. And I know I've said it before, but I'm gonna say it again. I don't care that Easter is not the same as Mardi Gras. I know. I don't, some of my favorite shoes that I have done have been intensely seasonal. I have an Easter shoe that I did where it was a wedge and the wedge was grass and it was like an Easter egg hunt and the body of the wedge was full of like all the Easter egg treats, and I put these pretty little iridescent rabbit sequins all over it, and like it had little fake chocolates and plenty of fake Easter eggs. I loved that shoe, and it sits in my aunt's house where we go celebrate Easter. So like that was perfect. That is, you cannot possibly tell me that that isn't perfect. Okay. I'm trying to, like I said, it's like reverse pickup sticks. I'm trying to find spots to stick them where they don't touch anybody else. Ah! Look at how pretty. Oh, I knew that was going to make me happy, and it did. I knew that was going to make me happy, and it did. If you're happy and you know it. Good stuff. Stuff that is good. Let's work on our cakes. Okay, so she is a slippery minx. She is, do I want to put a little trim down her sides? If I had pink trim, that's what I would use, but I don't think I do. I don't think I have pink trim. I could use some gold trim, mayhaps. Or, I think she's okay. Give me a second to kind of fiddle a little bit. Yeah, I don't think she needs trim. I know she needs frosting on the top. Big old dollop of frosting coming in hot. But that's the wrong gold. I could put some light gold. Do I want to do that? I could do some, yeah, hang on. Ah. Okay. Who's it gonna be? That white gimp is too heavy. I need to separate out. I've got trim that I really only can use on Orpheus tambourines because it's heavy. Oh, you might be just the ticket. You already look like frosting. I think you are exactly what I want. You're just extremely tangled. This is my secret shame, guys, is that my trim bin is chaos. But, you know, God forbid we ever throw anything away. Ah, okay, we found the end. But I have this trim in my stash that I've had since, I think, before my children were born. So, but it kind of looks like frosting. So I think that's exactly what I want to put on there. Yes. All right, let me untangle you. And I do sometimes sit down and untangle batches of, you know, it's a cycle though. I untangle it and it retangles. You can't really fight the trim orgy that happens when your back is turned. And you know, who am I to consenting trim? I don't care. That's y'all's business, not mine. Okay, this is the trim I'm gonna put on here. I'm gonna do that real quick. All right, those candles are done. Alrighty. Let me just trim her, lickety split. The edges on these, it's not, oh, that was a choice. The edges on these are not like super raw. They aren't like desperately in need of trim, but I do think it kind of makes it just a little nicer. Just a little nicer. Yeah. And I'm gonna loop it around underneath the cake, and I think that'll be cute. And then I can always make some drippies where I want some drippies. I won't do the drippies today because today I want to do the frosting. Okay, so I'm just putting her around the bottom of the shoe. And I think that's good. It makes kind of a, where the cake hits the shoe, it's not super pretty. So it just helps kind of disguise, camouflage the border between. Yeah, I like that a lot. This was the move. This is fabulous trim. I wish I knew where this came from. It was probably either a leftover in my mother's stash, which a lot of my trim is from my mother's stash. My mother was a costumer, my late mother, Miss Sarah. So she had a lot of goodies that I still use and think of fondly today. Miss Sarah's up there. I'll show you guys Miss Sarah. I mean, the shoe that is inspired by Miss Sarah. I don't like have my mother's skeleton or something. Or her, I guess it's not. I'm like, that's so weird, but people have like the ashes of their loved ones in their home. So that's like, I'm like, oh, it would be so weird if I was like, my mom's up there. But people I know do ashes. Not my mother. Her body, she donated to science. She was a generous woman, my mother. She was a wonderful woman, my mother. I know that you have all heard me talk about her a lot. All right. But that is how we keep memories alive. And in this month, when we are struggling with some big losses of, you know, not necessarily people we personally knew, but people who were impactful as entertainers and icons, Tim Curry and Dolly Parton, I think it is worthwhile to remember that our love of them keeps their legacy alive. And Dolly Parton, of course, we have such fondness for. I mean, like everyone, but my eldest son, Tommy, you may or may not know, was born in the state of Tennessee, which meant that every month of his life, for the first 5 years that he was on Earth, he was sent a free book from Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. And now it's all over the place. Now it's like spread out and like other, at the time it was Tennessee because that was her spot, her home state. But now it's like all over the place. But yeah, we have great fondness for the wonderful books that that not her personally, I'm like, she sent, but also kind of, you know, I think she was responsible for it. Even if she didn't personally put them in the mail, it still feels very special. All right. Some pretty swirly. Love it. Love, love. Put that in the pile. I don't need my glue gun right now, but I do need a nice fat piping tip. Who's it going to be? I think it's going to be her. These are my big boy piping tips. They are hefty. I very rarely use these, but you know, that's not going to stop me from having them. Okay, so this one is already trimmed. Y'all can see she has gold trim. Oh, I need to do her candles. Let me do her candles real quick, and then I'll put the whipped cream on her, and then we'll call it. I think, okay. I've got my white glue sticks to make the candle wax. So these we made last time. It's the little flame bit off of the little flameless LED guys. These guys, I cut the flame off, I glue it to white wire, and then, where's my, one of these was a white, there she is. Okay, all right. So I am gonna make some fake drippies. So it looks like these candles have been melting a little bit. And then I'm gonna put my little wick in there. And then I'm gonna add some more wax. So I'm just making the fake wax with white hot glue. That's all it takes. And the glue sticks come in different colors at the craft culture, I was going to say at the craft store, and then I switched horses midstream. At craft culture, we have, I want to say, glitter gold, glitter silver, glitter opalescent crystal, like white. We have solid white like this, great for making like sour cream or frosting or mayonnaise on your po' boy, things like that. And great for making candles that look like they've been burning for a little bit. And then we've got solid black, good for like ink or soy sauce or oil. And then we've got purple and green, I want to say. The green is, well, we'll get into that another time. The green is good for like a bubbling cauldron. Oopsies. And the purple is, you know, you just never know what you're going to need purple for. So hot glue sticks that come in different colors, you just never know what you're going to need for what project. All right. My candles look good. They're a little bit webby, but that's a problem we can solve later with our heat gun. That'll melt. But look how good those little candle drippies look. They look so realistic. And I'm going to sprinkle a little white glitter on them just because I like a little glitter in all things, just to make the wax look a little bit more fabulous. That one's really drippy. They lit that candle and then like went to the other room to go find. Oh wait, shoot, we forgot something. I imagine that particular household saying. All right. I don't know why I feel the need to tell stories in my head about the shoes, but I don't know. It does something for me. As I think that's an artistic inclination to be like, what's the story? What happened here? All right. And I have decided that since this layer of frosting is so thick, I got some of these big slices of strawberries at the glitter store. I'm going to place those in the filling and make her kind of a chantilly cake, which happens to be my son Tommy's favorite cake right now. He's about to turn 12 and he wants a chantilly cake. So he's going to get one. Not that my kids get everything they want, but okay, cute. So we're going to make, does it make sense to do them all like different directions? Or does it make sense to do them all, ooh, do I want them higgledy-piggledy or do I want them like lined up? Give me 1 second to kind of make that call. That's lined up. Okay. And if we go, yeah, I think I probably want them all lined up. Do I want them lined up like that? Yeah. All right. Thanks, y'all. Strawberries. I think that looks great. I'm going to think about whether I want a little bit of white crystal glitter over the strawberries. I'm also noticing that the strawberries I have, some of them are darker and I want them all to be light. So I'll buy myself another 12 pack and pick out the lighter ones so that it's all uniform. That's just, you know, that's just my personal preference that they have that consistency. So I'll get some more strawberries, but it's going to look like that. I like the strawberries in the filling. I think that's cute. Okay. So we've got this one and we've got this one. I think what I want to do is the stronger, I'm going to do the light pink frosting on this one to match this light pink frosting. And I'm going to do the white frosting to match this is what I'm going to do. So I do like the strawberries. That is cute. I like it a lot. Okay, so this has a little tip on it because I was doing minis. So I'm going to take that out. I need to clean it. I'm not done with it for the day. I'm going to do more minis, but I'm going to switch over to my big Mama Jamma tip. Big boy. And then in she goes. Cute. Cute, cute. And then I want to put some sprinkles on her. Let me give her, I was thinking about, do I want to put a strawberry on her since she has strawberries? That would be kind of cute. But I don't really have any finished strawberries. I am going to put some sprinkles. These are some little fake heart sprinkles. I didn't want to put rainbow sprinkles on her because, you know, That's cute. I'm looking at her from this angle, and I feel like I want a little bit more roundedness. So I'm going to round her out a little bit over there and bring her a little bit taller. I don't want to go too tall and have that, you know, dog park situation. Okay. I think the sprinkles help. Yeah. We do have some pink sprinkles at the shop. I might want to get some of those. But the red in these little hearts kind of matches the strawberries, and I like that. Sprinkles. All right, I think I'm just going to pop a cherry on her, even though it would be kind of cute to have the strawberry. The other thing I have is, I had these like resin strawberries that kind of looked like gelatin strawberry, you know, like made out of candy. But I think I'm just going to do a cherry. I think a cherry is a classic. Boop. Pretty. Beautiful. When she dries and I get the rest of her strawberries to go all the way around, she is ready. Oh, I see one little spot that I'm going to just touch up real quick, real careful. I see one little spot in the ice cream that didn't get her country roads. But yeah, she's a beauty. Happy birthday to you. As soon as this dries and she gets her strawberries, she is all done. I wonder if I want to like drizzle some pink sauce on her. I don't want to get too, I don't want to have so many colors on this that they're all like fighting each other. But a little drizzle of sauce might be pretty. Yeah, that's pretty. We're going to do a little drizzle. Make her just a little bit more interesting. Break it up a little bit. Yeah, I like that a lot. And then I'm going to, since I've got it out, do I want to, I think since she's overall pretty like light in her color scheme, I'm just going to put white glitter on top of the, where did my Spirit Queen go? Not Spirit Queen, my Magic White. That's what I want to use. Just lighten up this. It'll make the pink look more sugary. My fake pink frosting. Little raspberry, little strawberry syrup on there. She's so cute. She is going to get some drippies, but drippies are going to wait until we are fully dry up here. I don't want to start tilting her and have the dollop of frosting like shift too much. So she's going to be like that. All right, set her aside, put her in a safe spot, let her dry. She's a cutie. She's a cutie patootie. All right, I do not have any pink sprinkles, so I think she's just gonna have to be, do I wanna put any sauce on her, or do I just wanna put, I think I just wanna put a big dollop of frosting on her, right? Oh, decisions. I'm trying to decide if I want a little bit of something. I could give her a little bit of like, part of me wants to try to pull this blue out, but I think that's going to look too unnatural, and I don't want to fight it that hard, I don't think. So I'm not gonna. I think just a little white frosting up here. Okay. All right. All right. Let me do, I want a pretty sizable dollop on this one. So let's go. All right, I've got my piping bag. I cut the tip out of my piping bag. Boop, boop. All right, the hole is not big enough because the teeth aren't all the way out. So I cut my hole slightly bigger. Doop, doop. And then I cut the tip off my frosting bag. Drop it in there. Twist it all together, and we're ready to go. Let me see. That's really fun. That is very fun. Ha! Love that. Love that so much. It's a little bit off center. So let me see if I can scooch it a little bit. Kind of make it stretch a little towards the bottom. That's really fun though. I love that. Let me get all my, this big tip is fun. Okay. Let me get all that kind of scooched over a little. Alrighty. That's very cute. And then I have another cherry somewhere. I know I did 2 cherries, but where did I put the other one? All right. I know I did 2 cherries, but I'm not seeing my other one, so that means I probably dropped it somewhere, which happens. Let's see. Sorry, y'all. All right, for now, I'm gonna put a foam ball in there, and later I'll cut the foam ball out and put a cherry right there, but I want the spacing to be correct. Oh, let me do a red ball, and then let me just do a red ball. And then all I need to do is put a little stem in there. Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna let that dry. I wish it was a little bit scooched. I'm gonna see if I can scooch it just a little bit. This is very risky. Do not try this at home. I'm trying to make the whole thing kind of, all right, a little more evened out. Perfect. Perfect. All right. That looks great. Cute, cute. So when that dries, we'll do the drips. Easy peasy. I do wanna stick some, hang on. I want to put some little candies in the frosting. All right. Okay. So I've got these little pink squares, or I could do these little beads that kind of look like crackly little candies. What do I feel like doing? going to do I'm going to do some pink cracklies. Yeah, just kind of make it look a little more. It's a big, beautiful dollop of whipped cream, and I'm obsessed with it, but I want to make sure it kind of looks evened out. I want it to look balanced. So I've just got these pink beads that I'm just tucking in there that look like little gumdrops. Put some little candies in there. Ah, drop a few. Okay. The white is so white against the, I think it should be pink. Shoot. I'm trying to decide how I feel about that. Because I can still scrape this off, put it back in a bag, and then it's still usable. Oh, do I want to do that? Do I want to scrape it back into a bag? Anything worth doing is worth overdoing. Or, you know, getting it correct. So I'm going to do a risky maneuver here, y'all. I want it to be, I want it to be more even. And also I want it to be pinker. So unlike real frosting, you can kind of mess around with it for a while until it's to your liking. I would not put your fingers in real frosting. I mean, if it's just you, I guess, I'm not worried about that. Okay. A little bit of an engineering challenge, but that's all right. We're up for the challenge. A little messy. That's okay. That's okay. Scoop. Putting it in a piping bag. And I do lose some when I do this, obviously, because the little pre-filled bags are so tidy. But I just think it needs to be, I think it needs to be the lighter pink. I wonder. I've kind of been wanting to try something, which is putting multiple piping bags into the same guy. Is today the day to do that? No, I don't think we necessarily need to get that crazy. Okay. So this I'm going to put into a sealed bag because it will still be usable as long as I keep it closed. All right, let's try that again. Take 2. Okay. I've got a pink one, light pink, and I just think that's going to be better. I think I was wrong. I think I picked something out, and I don't think I was correct, but that's okay. It's easy enough to fix, you know? Mistakes cost us money and time, but then we've learned things. All right, let me center this better. Okay. There we go. That's good. That's good. I like that color and I like that positioning. Make sure she's clean all the way around. Yeah. Thank you all for bearing with me while I made that a little more in line with what I was envisioning. And I know it's got the dog thing going on, but we're gonna do our red cherry in the top. And then I think I've got these little squares of pink candy. Those might be cute. I think that's what we're gonna do. Yeah, I like that a lot. Okay, we got there. We got there. And by there, I mean, where it was fine. I just wanted to change a few little things. All good. Okay. Whew. Doing it live is stressful because, like, you make a mistake and it's like, is this a mistake that's actually bothering me? Do I want to? I mean, mistake is a strong word. You do something and you're like, I am envisioning this looking different. And then you have to kind of decide if it's worth the hassle of like pulling it off and doing it differently, or if you just want to let it go. And there's no real wrong answers, which makes it a little easier. But, okay. Cute. Cute, cute, cute. Cute. And cute. And when that's dry, I'll hit those with a little bit of shimmer. And that'll make it kind of all a little more harmonious. But that's a very cute little candy topper. Very cute. And do I want to add some sprinkles? Just a few little sprinkles? Why not? Everything's better with sprinkles on it. And I've got just a few more of those little, yeah, pretty, cutie, cutie. I love her. That's going to be a very fun little birthday cake to throw to somebody on the route who's having their birthday. Or, you know, whose sign says they're having their birthday. I don't check. I don't check anybody's driver's license. All right. Beautiful. We got there and she's cute and I love her. Okay. Those two need to dry. How are we for time? Oh man, we're way over. Time flies when you're dawdling with your bits and your bobs. Okay, let me put all my frosting safely into bags because I want to use it all. I don't want to lose any, and it does dry out and then you can't use it. So I'm gonna clean all these piping tips in a moment, and I will remind everyone that the piping tips that you use for crafting, you should not be using those for eating. Only for crafting. All right, but what I want to do before we skedaddle today, that took us a while, but that's okay. Things take a while sometimes. She's cute. Is put the next coat of glitter on my bead trees. And my trees, I have spray painted them. They are ready to go in once my girls are all ready. Actually, I think what I'll do today so that I can do some assembly is I'll do the second coat on the interior. And that way I can hot glue my trees in once they are glittered. All right, okay. Doing good in the neighborhood. Yeah, I was a little all over the place today, but it's kind of been that kind of week. I say like it isn't always that kind of week, but it's good to get in here and make some progress. And I made my Easter eggs, which was like, that was the top of my list of things I wanted to do today that were just pure, pleasurable fun. All right. I've got just enough iron thrown. This is the confetti I was talking about, waking up on Bourbon Street. Nice hefty sprinkle of that so that it looks like the street after the parade has gone by, after several parades have gone by. Pretty, pretty. So I've only got enough iron thrown there to do this one. I need to buy some more iron thrown. Iron thrown's another one where I feel like I have gobs of it. You know, I feel like September is going to turn, August is going to turn into September, and I'm going to feel a little bit like behind the 8 ball. I think it's just a reminder that it's time to get organized, time to get your ducks in a row, that it's coming. Okay, I'm going to do midnight blue on the heel and platform of this because I want it to look like a night parade. I want to see the street and see the sky. So on this, I'm doing Blue Jay. That's a nice midnight blue. You can go even darker than that. You could go all the way to like Cajun Navy, or Once in a Blue Moon is a good like dark blue. But for my purposes, I'm going to use Blue Jay. That's kind of what I've got, and I think it works just fine for what I'm going for. And I will, if I can find them, I'll put some stars in my night sky. If I can find some cosmic confetti handy, I'll put some, or I could just even do plain silver stars or plain white stars. I just think that makes the night sky look a little more poetic. I want to see the confetti in the street and the stars in the sky and a tree full of beads. Pretty. Let her dry. Let me do I have enough? If I can just do the back of the heel, then I can do my assembly next time. And it'll feel good to get my assembly kind of going. I would never advise doing it in pieces like this. This is kind of a unique case. All right. Ooh, a little all over the place, but I'm still glad I did it. Even a chaotic glittering session. Chaos is a pretty strong word for it. Even a kind of, you know, discombobulated glitter session still regulates me a lot. And I could use the regulation. As I'm sure many of you could also use the regulation. So I've just done the back there so I can put the tree in. Go. Ooh-wee, y'all. Okay. But this was a nice long session. We got, you know, our whipped cream kind of, you know, took us a minute to kind of get things where we wanted them, but we sure did. And those are done once the whipped cream dries. We might, once the whipped cream dries and I get more strawberries and I add a little bit of sparkle, a little bit of shimmer to the strawberries and the pink candies. Those are ready to roll, and I will be happy to count them. Oh, that's the other thing. I can count my, I've got my 6 snowballs and that 1 funfetti cake. I can add those so we can go from 27 up to, we can go into the second boot. Let's do that. Let's definitely do that before we call this session a wrap. All right. Night sky. Gray asphalt. Beautiful. Okay. That's a little messy, so it's going to go, not going to go back into the jar. All right. My confetti is good. My Blue Jay is good. My Iron Throne is depleted. I need another one. But luckily I know where to get more. I will be there today. I want to... Okay. Sorry, y'all. All right, thermometer. We have got... We bagged 3. We bagged the grape. We bagged the nectar. We bagged the funfetti. And we triple bagged the confetti. So that takes us to 30. Woo! That is 1 boot full. We filled a boot. We did 30 shoes. Yeah. It's getting to be that time, so that is right on schedule. So I don't feel like ahead of the game, but I feel like I'm in good shape, like I'm where I want to be. And then I've got these 3. I won't fill them in until they're done. And then these 2. And so that is going to take me, these 3 will take me to 33, and then the other one will be 34. So we're going to dip into our other boot next time. And then, ooh, once I finish, I need to make those transfers, and then I can finish 4 more. So I've got 2 that are ready to bag. I just need boot bags. 1 that needs a touch up on her. You know, it's time to be doing and not just talking. Okay. Perfect. So she will be done when this touch-up dries. So I've got 3 done that just need bagging, but I'm not going to technically count it until they're bagged. Just to keep myself kind of, you got to pick a lane and stay in it so that you don't get confused. If I start deciding that I'm going to count shoes that are done but not bagged, I might accidentally double or triple or undercount. So I'm not considering them done until they're in bags for my own purposes of tracking. So I've got 2 that are ready to go in bags right now. They just need boot bags, and I just need to fish those out. I've got them. I've got 4. Perfect. I've got, she will be ready when she's dry, so that's 3. So we're at 30. I've got 1, 2, 3. I've got those 2, the candy birthday cakes that are almost done. So I've got 3, 4, 5. That's 5 that are really close. And then I've got the 4 bead fence boots that just need their transfers. That's a big motivator to get my transfers done. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so once I do those, we'll be able to fill to here. That's very motivating for me. I'm going to really, really try to be there before. Oh, man. I wonder if I could be there before the month. I could be there before the month ends. That's a good goal. That's a good goal. I'm going to try to get easy enough to get those girls bagged. I will definitely do that. 3 bags, 2 that just need a little bit of shimmer and some drips, just a few little details, and then 4 that need transfers. That is not bad. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I know y'all, my math must make y'all, in honor of Tim Curry, it's kind of clue math. It's like 1 + 2 + 1 + 1. But I do need to keep doing it because, man, it's easy to lose track. That'll be very motivating to me. If I can finish those things by the end of the month, and I'm really going to try, I can fill to 39, and then we're looking good. Once we do 39, we've got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. We will have 21 shoes left to do in September, October, November, December. 21 shoes over 4 months, 5 shoes a month. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. And we've got our, those 2 bead trees. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 baskets. So that'll be 8 out of our 21. Yeah, we're doing great, guys. We're doing great. We'll do some champagne toasts if we need to fill in with some purple, green, and gold kind of classic girls just to feel on top of things. We'll fill in a little bit with some classic girls to feel on top of things. But I am feeling great. We are getting there, which is good because it's coming. Thank you all so much. As always, I'm very grateful for the support, for the feedback. I hope it is helping people kind of stay where they want to be. And I will see you guys next time. We did it though, guys. We filled a boot. That's a boot filled. Whatever else, they can't say that we didn't fill a boot. Goodbye.